Hey, what's going on, everybody? When I started using TradingView, it was like kind of confusing, all the different tools and different things you can use. And I've just figured out a bunch of shortcuts, and I want to share them with you guys. So, first one is going to be text templates. So let's grab a line, horizontal line right here. Let's say you were gonna, for whatever reason, this was gonna be like a weekly resistance level. So you can actually type on here. So let's just type in weekly, and I want it to be on the left side, on the bottom of the line, black text, black line, and everything's good right there. But what I also want to do, we gotta hit show text. So now see how it popped up over there, but I want to save this as a template. So now I'm gonna call this my weekly. So every time you use the horizontal line tool, it's gonna save the last thing you did. So if I just click here, it's gonna throw the weekly because it's gonna do the exact same thing that I had just done. However, let's just say this one happens to be a monthly key level. Now we're gonna put it on the right, bottom still the same, and we're gonna save this template as the monthly. Perfect. Alright, so now you can see it's over here on the right and the weekly is over here on the left. Let's just say I happen to be typing in another weekly. This helps out a lot when you're like setting up your key levels all at once. So it defaulted, of course, to the monthly over here, but we're going to double click on it. And instead of having to fix all this stuff, we just go to template, we click on weekly, and bam, now it's over here on this side on the weekly. So that's just a quick shortcut you can use over time. So if you label your lines a specific way, you can save a template, and it makes it a lot faster in order to do that. Now let's say you wanted to zoom in on an area because you're looking here. Let's just say we want to look right in this area. Instead of like zooming in and out with your keyboard or your mouse, you can grab this zoom tool, and let's just say I just want to look at this area. I can grab this area right here, let go, and it zooms into the exact size of the screen, and you can see a lot more detail. And then you can just, if you need to zoom back out, you just click zoom out and you're back to where it was. So if you grab it in a horizontal, like a rectangular fashion, it works out better because it's proportionally going to zoom in according to like the size of your screen. Alright, so that's number two. Alright, so say you're drawing a zone. This can be number three. Say we're going to draw a zone and we're going to draw it right here. And I had just originally drawn it to here, but it never came back up in the market, and I don't want to mess up my precision, so I'm just going to double click on it, go to coordinates, and then I can extend this bar. So let's say I move this from 239 to 300, and each bar is each candle. Hit enter, and now it extended it out, and you could put 1,000 and then just let this thing run as long as you need to. So that's another one. Alright, so now one more thing with the horizontal line. Like let's say this weekly, right here, we just double click on it. Say I want it to be at an exact price point, you can just come here and you can type it in. So say I want this to be 1.32200, and I hit OK, and bam, it shot it right up here to 1.32200. So if you're trying to get that exact point with a line, you can just type it in too if you're having difficulty placing it. Alright, so now that you got your charts all done, another really good thing to do to be able to go back, especially if you placed a trade, even if you didn't, if you were just trying to like look for setups, is mark it, mark your setup, mark your entry, mark everything, and then come down here to this camera looking icon, click it, and then you click save image, and now it has a screenshot of your chart. So if you right click, you can hit save image as, and you can save this in a folder. So you can pick, depending on which pair you have, make a folder for that pair and date it, and then maybe even write a detail on there as to like why you entered. That way you can review at the end of the week if you lost a trade, or even if you won a trade, because you gotta, you know, what happened after. So you'll have a screenshot of beforehand, and instead of just having the history after, because it's easy to see what happened or why this worked or didn't work once you have all the data. But when you placed a trade, you couldn't see the future exactly. All right. So then let's say like right now we're on USD CAD on the 4 hour. Let's say I want to look at it on different time frames, but all at the same time. I can come up here and I can split my chart up. So now I have, so if you're looking for like a really good entry, now I have a 4 hour here. If I click inside this one on the top right and I go and I change it and go to the 1 hour, now that's a 1 hour, but this is still the 4 hour over here. Now let's say I'm in the bottom right. I can go to the 15 minute, and now I'm on the 15 minute. And if you notice, the crosshairs are showing up on all three charts. So if I come over here and let's just say, I'm just going to draw another zone, let's just say on this 15 minute, and I'm just drawing a box, I'm not even drawing a zone. It's putting it on all of the charts at one time. So I can sit there, if you like to go down to the lower entries, which you probably should, or lower time frames for your entries, which you probably should, you can literally be seeing everything happening at one time on multiple time frames. The max I like to do is 3 of them, because any more and the screens just get really small unless you have like a monster monitor. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to change it back to one screen. All right, so deleting drawing tools. So especially when you start marking the higher highs and higher lows and all sorts of different stuff, you're going to have a lot of stuff on your charts. Well, let's just say you messed up labeling something. On a Mac, you can just click it and then press delete, and it'll erase it. If you have a Windows, you have to click on your drawing tool that you use, like let's say this weekly line up here, and you have to click it and then hit Alt Backspace. If you just hit Backspace, it's going to like mess everything up. But if you hit Alt Backspace on a Windows, it'll work. Or if you just hit Delete on a Mac, it'll work. All right. So now, like, let's just say like everything's really crowded for some reason, and writing text isn't really an option close to where you want it. So let's just say I'm trying to label this. I don't really want to put any text there, but I can click this and drag that out. I can label it. I can use the certain colors that I want to use. And I can highlight it still with an ellipse tool, but I can actually pinpoint exactly what it was, but still get the text out of the way so it's not distracting. All right, and now let's say we are going to label higher highs and higher lows. I've seen people ask and get confused, and it took me a while to find this. Let's say this is a higher high. I'm not even sure if it is. I didn't even look, but if you click border right here, it'll throw a box around it. And you can also change the background color and everything. So that's one more thing. And then when you do these labelings with the callouts, you want to put the time frame that you're doing, because when you zoom in and zoom out, it looks like it's in another area. Let's say you labeled it on the daily, then you went to the 4 hour, then you went to the 1 hour, and then you're like, wait, that call out isn't even like on anything. What's wrong? And now you got to try to remember which time frame you placed it. So if you label it, like right here, it says 4 hours. So I know if I go back to the 4 hour, it's going to look and be in the right spot. And then a quick little thing I realized yesterday is on an uptrend for the higher highs and the higher lows, the H is on the left side. When you're in a downtrend, the L is on the left side. So let me just explain what I mean real quick, because I know that's kind of confusing. So let's just say right here, this is going to be a higher low. So, and this is on the up. Now let's say we're on the down. This be a lower low. And right here would be a lower high. This point right here. So H's are on the left on the up trend, and L's are on the left on the downtrend, just because I know when I'm labeling mine, sometimes they get confused, and that's just a little shortcut I used for that. But anyway, that's all I have. I know TradingView can be kind of crazy when you first start using it, and I just wanted to share these tools with you guys that helped me a lot, and I hope you liked the video.